Hello, I'm Andi Singh, and this program is entitled Jin Ping versus China. Jin Ping versus China. How do their horoscopes match up for the next 5 years? Let me first talk about China. China became 67 years old in 2016 and is going to do very, very well. At the age of 68, China keeps doing even better, so things are looking up for China like mad, very well. When the horoscope of China moves into the age of 69, then problems begin. So 69 in 2018 and 2019 are seen as problem periods. And then when China continues to be 70 years old in 2019 and 2020, the situation in China becomes worse. This is for the horoscope of China. And then when the horoscope moves on to the age of 71 in 2020 and 2021, China is back on its feet and is doing very, very well. And then when the horoscope moves to the age of 72 in 2021 and 2022, the situation weakens a little bit to the level of about 50% good and 50% not good. So the next 5 years for China, ages 67, well, let me go to the calendar years better, 2016, 2017, and part of 2018, when China is still 68 years old, are extremely good. So the ages of 67 and 68 in 2016, 2017, and up to its birthday, which is the 21st of September 2018, China does very well. And then the ages of 69, 70 become extremely bad, 71 becomes pretty good, and then 72 weakens to be just so-so. Let's move to Jin Ping's horoscope. Jin Ping became the age of 63 in 2016, and it shows that at best he's doing around 50%, 50-50 only. At the age of 64, Jin Ping's horoscope weakens to the level of only 40% good. And then at the age of 65, and the horoscope remains quite weak at a level of 40 to 50% good, maybe 55% at times good. And then the age of 66 for Xi Jinping is very bad, and his premiership at that time will tend to weaken in the sense that things can turn very nasty for him. That could be, of course, due to many other factors like the personal life and, of course, due to health as well. But we are talking here of basically between him and China is all got to do with politics. So I find that the situation at the age of 66 in 2019 and 2020 are extremely bad. And then at the ages of 67 and 68, which would be at 2020, the last part of 2020, and 2021 and 2022, they become extremely good. Now let's see how this ties up between the two of them, Jin Ping and China. Jin Ping at the age of 63, 50% good, but China is 75% good. Jin Ping at the age of 64 in 2017 is only 40% good, but China is at a level of 80% good. And then Jin Ping's age of 65 in 2018, China comes into a slack period and goes down to the level of 30 to 35% good only. That's in 2018 and 2019. China is only up to 35 or at most 40% good. And then Jin Ping at the age of 66 turns a horoscope which is very weak for him. And that 66 is in 2019, 2020. And China at that time is the age of 70, which is at its weakest in these 5 or 6 years that I'm doing the horoscope. Age of 70 in 2019 and 2020, China is at its weakest level, and that coincides a lot with the weakest period of Jin Ping. So Jin Ping in 2019-2020 extremely weak, China in 2019, 2020 extremely weak. And then Jin Ping picks up very beautifully at the age of 67 and 68, reaches 75% good and moves on to even 80% good in 2021 and 2020. So Jin Ping doing very well in 2020, the last half of it, and then doing even better in 2021 and 2022. And China at that time, at the age of 70, as I said, very bad in 2019 and 2020, but China improves very dramatically at 71 too. So that coincides with Jin Ping doing very well in 2020 and 2021, and China doing very well in 2020 and 2021 as well. And then China moves to the age of 72 in 2021 and 2022. So China at 72 in 2021 and 2022. And from a fantastic 80% 1 year before, at the age of 72, 2021 and 2022, China comes down to the level of about 50-50. So here you can see how the ages of Jin Ping and the ages of China are showing. They are moving at quite the same tandem actually, but what surprises me is that why is Jin Ping so poorly off at the age of 66 in 2019 and 2020, and why China at the age of 70 in 2019 and 2020 is at its lowest ebb. And that's my predictions for the two of them, Jin Ping and China. Now, if I combine the horoscopes to look at them, Jin Ping is in Gemini and China is in Virgo. There is a lot of good vibes coming from both of them. Each is supporting the other very well. So Jin Ping's being premier of China is very workable, is very accepted by China, and China will respond, the horoscope of China will respond well to the horoscope of Xi Jinping very well. So I can see the two of them complementing each other. And that's what I have to tell you when I ask a question, how do the horoscopes of Jin Ping and China correlate for the next 5 years? Thank you and goodbye.